Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. As you may guess, today's video will be going over the first time in Hunter x Hunter when someone surpassed the speed of sound. Let's do a little quiz and see if anyone can figure out where this is. Here's some options. We got option A with Netero, with punches stated faster than the speed of sound. Option B, Neferpito, who was able to jump from the entire ant nest at incredibly fast speeds. Option C, Phaeton, a guy who's very consistently dodging bullets. Or option D, Gon and Killua in the very first arc of the series. Now, to anyone who's been on YouTube, you could probably guess that the most surprising answer should be the correct one here, and it would be Gon and Killua at the start of the series. Some needed information before we get going. We're going to need Gon and Killua's heights, 1.54 meter and 1.58 meters respectively. We're going to need what the speed of sound is. We're going to prove something's faster. We do need to know what the speed of sound is. We're also going to need the time frame for an after image at 1/60th of a second, under normal circumstances. We will go over what isn't a normal circumstance afterwards as well. So we'll be doing the first feat for Gon. This is a feat just to get started, to show that they are incredibly fast, more for like consistency. And that would be when Gon is able to leave an after image trying to get the ball off Netero in the manga. Gon's height is 1.54 meters, while his arm in comparison is 28% of his height at 0.43 meters. If we rotate the manga panel and make an arc, we can find Gon's span about 1.35 meters, which can be shown just here. Doing that in 1/60th of a second would give him a speed of 81 meters per second. Very fast, but not yet the speed of sound. Another warm-up feat this time for Killua. We'll be looking at when he was able to chop up these two guys with 6 strikes without them even seeing it happen. Now, there is not enough information to find how far away Killua was, but we do know at bare minimum he was further than this guy's arm reach because he couldn't reach him. Using Killua's height of 1.58 meters, we find that his arm is 0.7 meters, making the total distance over 6 strikes 4.2 meters. Under the same time frame, we get a speed of 252 meters per second. Very close, but not quite the speed of sound yet. That is assuming, though, he doesn't return his arm in between each one. If he pulls his arm back in between each one, it's actually 12 times he covers this distance at 8.4 meters, with a much greater speed of 504 meters per second. Much faster than the speed of sound. Now, this third feat, I believe to be a much more popular one that everyone who's seen Hunter x Hunter will remember.
A battle to the death. Soon, I'll tear your body apart with just my bare hands. You got it? What happened? Why am I so cold?
Now, when calculating this feat, we need to know how far Killua was when he started off, as well as how far he was when he finished. Now, in these two frames, you can probably see Killua is not the same height. Just compare these two lines here for that comparison. So we're going to need to edit these two frames to make them the same size. If we do, we can line them up like this. This will be ignoring the couple steps Jonas took before he died, but that can't be helped. Using the distance between the two Killuas here, and his height of 1.58 meters, we get a total distance of 8.91 meters, which under the time frame of an after image would mean that he moved at 535 meters per second, nearly double the speed of sound. Now this fourth feat is my favourite feat, because it has two ways of being calculated, both of which are narratively consistent faster than the speed of sound. It is this feat just here. Starts off with Killua hunting down these three hunter examinees. He then runs up the tree faster than they can see him. He's then able to jump down and get behind his target before his target could hear his footsteps going up the tree. So first off, we're going to need distance. So we start off by measuring Killua's height, 1.58 meters. The distance to the tree, 4.21 meters. The distance up the tree, which in this panel is at least 5.26 meters. And then the distance all the way to the hunter examinee at 7.77 meters. Total distance of 17 meters, giving a speed of over 1,000 meters per second, nearly 3 times what the speed of sound is. Now, if you see there, he only heard Killua going up the tree and figured he was above him, meaning Killua had gone up the tree and down before the sound wave had reached him. So measuring how far the sound wave would have travelled, of 3.33 meters, compared to what Killua had to move, which was 13.04 meters, we find that Killua would also be moving 1,342 meters per second when he outran that sound wave. That's nearly 4 times the speed of sound. Now, let's discuss this discrepancy. The reason why one feat is much faster than the other, simply by the method that they account. It doesn't matter that much that one's so much faster than the other. It matters more that they are both showing that he's faster than the speed of sound. For example, in version 1, I assumed that he had a normal human perception. Perhaps he was faster. Who knows? But I do think version 2, him outrunning the sound wave, is more consistent and more interesting to me. This means Killua is at least 3 to 4 times the speed of sound. Now let's go to the intermission. Before we get to the next 2 feats, we should learn something new for calculating feats. And this is what I meant earlier by under normal circumstances for an afterimage. In particular, we'll be looking at what's called a standing wave and the harmonics that come with it. Okay? Here's a video explaining it.
At certain frequencies, standing waves will occur in the string. And these frequencies will come in whole number ratios of a fundamental frequency.
While this mainly is to show the relationship between constructive and destructive waves, it is also useful because the different harmonics are with different frequencies, which are all based on the first fundamental frequency. 60 frames per second for an afterimage is the first harmonic, or the first fundamental frequency. So if someone made 2 afterimages, they'd be on the second harmonic. Now this means instead of just doing 1/60th of a second for afterimages, it should be 1/60 n of a second, where n is the number of afterimages. So if there were 2 afterimages instead of 1, the time frame is 120th of a second. If there are 3, it's 180th of a second, and so on. The more afterimages, the less the time frame, making the feats much more fast. So this 5th feat is by Gon. While trying to catch the ball off Netero, Gon gets faster and creates multiple after images. Now it's hard to tell what this is like in the anime, so instead we'll be using the manga. We'll scale off Gon again, his height of 1.5854 meters, his arm length of 12.4 centimeters, using that in the manga panel, and using the distance between all the after images at 2.32 meters. And then we have to count the number of after images. There are 4 Gons in that scene, one of them is the real Gon, the other 3 are after images. So instead of 1/60th of a second, it should be 1/180th of a second. Using this time frame and that distance, it means Gon must be moving 418 meters per second, meaning Gon 2 has a feat that is faster than the speed of sound. Now, if you've just paid attention and noticed that having more after images makes the feat more impressive, you should be interested in the 6th feat. Now in the comment section down below, I would like you guys to tell me how fast you think that feat is. I think we all can agree that it's much faster than the speed of sound. However, I want you guys to tell me what you think it will be. In my next video, I will go over that feat. As always, everyone, thank you for watching. As hinted to just then, I do have another video planned to do with Hunter x Hunter. The next one will be, how fast is Hunter x Hunter? Faster than lightning. Hope you all can enjoy it. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.